Buthelezi. Welcome to Incredible Radio. We want to just apologize for what happened during the day. We're supposed to have this interview earlier in the day, but due to electricity, we are here. We want to welcome you. Thank you for tuning in to Incredible Radio. I'm not going alone today. As I've said, that I've got my guest, Madam Speaker. I want to introduce this guest. It's a privilege for us in the radio station, and it's a privilege for me as a person to meet this beautiful lady next to me. And by the way, you're looking good, my sister.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're a designer. You forget.
I'm not.
You forget to mention that you're a designer. Okay, our guest today is, I call her Madam Speaker. I love that one, that Madam Speaker. I'm going to introduce Madam Speaker. She's the founder of Single Moms with a Purpose. Wow, I love that one. Single Mom with a Purpose. And then he's an MC, he's a motivational speaker, he's an inspiring author. So there's a lot that you're going to hear from her. I don't want to spoil anything. I just want to welcome you, my sister. Thank you for honoring us to come to this interview. And welcome. Welcome, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you just introduce yourself? Let people know who are you, because I didn't want to take that one from you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. And I believe that everything that happened today happened for a reason, and there's a purpose behind it.
Yes.
Yeah, the day has been crazy. As you've seen incidents that took place before we start.
Yeah.
So my name is Mpumelelo Buthelezi, and I am Madam Speaker because I talk a lot. Yes, I talk a lot, and I found my name from there because people had a problem with that. And for me, I did not see it as a problem because I had people who appreciated that I speak.
It's a gift.
Yes, and I saw it as a gift, and I branded it to say I am Madam Speaker, so that whoever I meet does not complain or you talk too much. They know.
They know to
So yes, I was born and raised in the Free State, and yes, I'm a teenage mom. I had both my sons when I was still a teenager. Today they look like they're my brothers. So when you see me with two grown-up men, just know that those are my sons. I am a speaker. I preach. I speak. I motivate. I used to, when I was back at home, I used to go to a certain school that I will go and talk to matriculants, try to motivate them to work hard and what to expect from life going on after matric, And also I'm very fond of young people, youth, still working on something like that. And I am a founder of Single Moms with Purpose.
Okay, we were still there. Single mom with a purpose.
Yes.
Okay, let me just explain to viewers that, this particular segment of the show, we call it History Makers.
Okay.
Abenzi bomlando.
Okay. Yeah.
So because we know as young people, we are writing our own history.
Yeah, our own stories.
Yeah, our own stories, our own history, so that the next generation, they will know what somebody was here. Mpumelelo was here. Yes. Madam Speaker was here. You have leave a trace that they will see your steps. That somebody has stepped here. Somebody has stepped here. You are going to leave your footsteps that people are going to follow. That's why we have this show, this segment of the show. History makers. So we are here as a person that is making a history.
Yes.
Take us through when you are growing up. Where we grow up, as you said, from Free State. Just take us through. Let us understand who am I.
Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm a single mom.
Yes.
All my life, I always explain it like that to say, all my life I've been a mom. Because just imagine, at 14 years I was pregnant, and then 15 my firstborn was born, then 16, 17 my secondborn was born. So I've been a mom all my life. Born and bred in the Free State, and from a family of both my parents with siblings. We were a huge family, and in my family we grew up well. We were raised well. Our parents took care of us. Like, they sacrificed a lot. They worked so hard to make sure that in everything that we get education, we get knowledge, we get wisdom, you know. And now as I sit down and look at our family and the families that we grew around, you know, I can see the difference. And I'm already appreciative of my parents to push us to want more, to want better, to focus on what matters. Because even after I got pregnant, they told me, you are going back to school, you know. I had to face, you know, I had to face other kids who were not having kids then, you know. I had to be the black sheep of since grade, because I started school very old. So I was old, first of all. And now I'm a mom. Like, you know, I was always different in some way. So I am very appreciative of my parents for that. And I had my matric, I did my matric, I passed, and I went to the University of the Free State, and according to, like, circumstances didn't allow me to finish.
Okay, before we continue, let's say there's a teenage mom that is watching, or will watch later, that is listening to now.
Okay.
They said, okay, here is the person that is she was in the situation that I am now.
Okay.
So how do you, because most of teenagers, the moment they get pregnant, and they are unable to bounce back in life. Yeah. So how can you advise young teenagers, okay, now, how can you bounce back? What did you do? What was your motivation? What is your encouragement that you had that will make you to bounce back in life?
I love that question. I had a dream.
Okay.
And as a girl who was born and bred and living currently in the rurals, where there's no sense of motivation, you wake up every day, your parents are going to work for bus, you know, and there's nothing that says there's a better life than this, you know. But I had a dream. So at home we had a TV, ne? So in the TV we used to watch, and I will see, okay, there's a school that has a lot of learners and a lot of teachers. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to feel, how does it feel to be in a school where you have different teachers? Because where I was currently studying, it was a hall with all of us grade 1 until 6, and with one teacher. So I had a dream of attending a different school with a different environment altogether. That dream kept me standing.
Kept you standing.
Yes.
Which means to a young person, or to a teenage mom that said, okay, now I'm in this position.
Yeah.
I have lost hope.
Yeah.
But okay, now how can I bounce back? But your dream can take you back.
Your dream.
So which means you are saying now, okay, they need to have a dream.
They need to have a dream.
That dream will drive them to bounce back and to come back to life and pursue that dream.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Continue.
And as you grow, your dream also grow, because one thing I have learned is that we dream according to the level of our influence and how far we have developed, you know. So now that my dream of being in a different setting, change became true. Yes, I went to middle school and I went to high school. But then when I'm at high school, I realized, there's university. And, you know, my dream became bigger. And now I was dreaming at the level of, I want to go to university. When I get to university now, there's bigger dreams. I see people are inventing things. People have a purpose. I realize in every situation and circumstance, there is a purpose. And I had to find my own. And finding your purpose, you have to go back. I went back to my teenage years, got pregnant, and what happened, all the incident that took place, and I found that single moms with purpose has to be born.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Single mom with purpose was born because of your experience.
Yes.
But okay, you became pregnant at the early age.
Yes.
So now that what seemed to be a problem, it gave birth to a dream.
Yes.
That now you are living now.
Yes.
Talk to me now. Talk to
yes.
me now.
And now, as I said earlier, that all my life I've been a mom.
You've been a mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
The freshest memories of my life, I've been a mom. I know the critics of being a black sheep, of being the only girl who has children. And the funny part is that now I am connected with a lot of single moms. Most of them, I am the only one who has teenagers.
Oh.
Yeah, like you
so
see.
You have walked this way.
I have walked this journey, and I realized, okay, so when I start growing up and I make friends, go to church, I'm a church girl, I'm a born again Christian, I love God, and nice. Yes, I realized that I connected more with people that have the same experience as myself. Yes. Now we are Christians, all at church, Holy Spirit filled, but there was one common thing. We were single mothers. And we will sit down and talk, and we will share same challenges, same fulfilling moments. And one of the things that stood out was that there's no support system for people like us.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
When we go to most platforms, we don't find a platform that accommodates single moms. Because for some reason, being a single person has its own disadvantages.
Yeah.
So now, when you are a single woman raising kids, whom their father left for some reason, there's a stigma.
There's a stigma.
Regardless of how and when and why. So now, I refused to go ahead with this idea that came to me 7 years back. Last year it was 7. This is going to be an 8th year. General single mom inside of me. Yes. So 7 years back, I dropped it to my youth pastor then, and he gave me advices and people that I can go to. But by then, I didn't know, I was clueless. I didn't know what to do, how to do it, Yeah. And I believe it was also purposeful. God wanted me to learn more. God wanted me to be more stronger, more wiser, more brave. Because you need to be brave if you yes, you know. So last year, life happened, and I found myself as a single lady, and I tried to be involved with someone, and it didn't work. And during that stage, when I was still trying to understand, well, what's happening, like relationshipically, it's not working. What's wrong? Yes, that's when the single moms with purpose came back to say, you are busy trying to make things that are not meant for you to work. While your thing, you are abandoning your purpose, you are abandoning your assignment, you are busy trying to make some things that are not in alignment with your purpose work. This is what you must be focusing on now. Because the Lord has said, okay, do my work, and all these other things, I will take they shall be added. Yes. Which means, okay, your mistakes has become a mystery. Yeah. Now, through your stories, many young people who are watching now and who will be watching later, who are listening now, they'll get inspired with, okay, no, being a teenage mom is not the end of the road. It's not the end of the road. Yeah. So you can bounce back and continue with your life. Yes. Especially if you have a dream. So the first thing that kept you going is your dream. Yeah. So each and everyone that is watching, if teenage mothers that are watching us now, what message can you tell them? Okay, you are a teenage mother now. What message can you tell them? Okay, if I'm going to talk to teenage moms, one of the best messages I can give them, you have a bigger role to play now, a bigger responsibility. You're not living for yourself alone. Only. You have to be an example to your kids. You have to make decisions now that will accommodate them. Because kids do talk. So imagine at school, and now they are talking, "Na my mom this, na my mom that," you know, and there's nothing good that your kids can say about you, you know. So they must understand how they are the first reflection of what a role model looks like. Your child must not go outside and find a role model only daily, you know. So they must make sure right now decisions they make are not selfish or uninformed. They must make informed decisions, make sure that everything they think of doing, it will be good for both them and their kids. And they must not neglect their dreams while they are at it. Because that dream, it's the center of who they will become at the end of the day.
You know, children, they are not that good in listening, but they can imitate.
Yes.
They are good imitators, which means give them something good to imitate.
Yes.
So that's the message that we can send to all the single mothers.
Yes.
Okay, what is the purpose of single mom with a purpose?
There's a lot of purpose there. Single Moms with Purpose was formed to support, to inspire, to help heal, you know, to help single moms to walk this journey without having to take everything on their shoulders alone. You know, it is there to say, I have a sister or sisters that I can go to and plead something, to say, you know, maybe this is the situation. The current situation is I am going through a dark place. I need prayers. I need, okay, maybe let's say finances. We are still growing again. We will get to a point where we will donate certain funds to single moms who needs them. You know, so right now we are giving mostly emotional support, you know, psychological support. I thank God that He has opened a door for, I was praying last year to say, I need professionals for single moms. I need social workers, I need lawyers, you know, all these people that will help us walk this journey smoothly. And this year God has blessed me with a social worker, and yes. So I am praying that we will have free counseling sessions, you know, because some single moms cannot afford. So we are a support system for single mothers, a safe space for them to be themselves, to be vulnerable, to say, today I'm not feeling well, today I this is what is happening, how do I go about this one? And we are there for that.
Okay, you are raising 2 boys.
Yes.
So if as you are raising 2 boys, I'm sure it's not easy as a mother to raise 2 boys. Now they're teenagers. And now I just want to find out the importance of the language in the house, because as I'm working with the boys, I'm running a boys mentorship program. So most of the language that is being spoken in the house, it tends to inflict them wrongly, it tends to give them a certain mindset. How can you advise to other mothers who are listening to the importance of speaking positive to your boys, especially when it comes to their fathers? Because the moment, let me tell you this, any negative things a mother say to a son about the father, it gives a mentality to a son, we said, men are like this. The moment you say men are like this, those men, your sons, he sees himself as a man. So you are projecting to him, you are like this. How do you, your language in the house, just...
as you say, children are imitators. So in my case, my boys stay mostly with my parents, you know. And I cannot even control what my parents and how they are and all that. What I do normally is to sit them down and talk about, what do you think about something like this and that and that. And it's something that God has done for us. He has graced us with an understanding. The boys are very matured and understanding. Sometimes I feel like, no, these are not my children. They can't be.
Yeah.
So they have developed mentally to such an extent that I call my firstborn a disciplinarian.
Okay.
Because he can, if there's anything that he's not in agreement with, it's all about, let's talk about it. This happened and I did not like it. Or so and so did this to so and so, at home. So I believe for everyone, every lady raising a child, regardless of her relationship with the partner, the father of the child, or her relationship with the family of the guy that is the father of their child, they must never talk ill about that family, because no matter what or how she feels or how much they hate her, they are family. They are this child's family. One way or the other, the child will want to connect with them. The child will want to know them. And also, as you said, they see themselves as who we say their fathers were or their fathers are. We must also speak good things to them, about them, so that regardless of how many times they hear outside or anywhere that men are trash or men are that, they must know, I am not part of that. That statistic falls far from me, because now I know my mom told me I am smart, I am strong, I am a good man, I am, we must get used to affirming our kids before we can want anyone else to speak good on them. Yeah.
Thank you for that one, because as I'm working for kids. It's been working for boys almost 8 years now.
Okay.
There are 3, I call it psychological needs for the boys. They need to be loved.
Yeah.
They need to be appreciated. They need to be accepted. So these 3 needs, they become visible if that needs have not been fulfilled at home. So now that's why you find boys, they'll go outside, they'll find these bad people. Have you seen let's say in an environment, you said, okay, parents, they will say to a boy, don't mix with those children. These are the boys. Don't go with them. But your son will go with them. And you say, you don't listen.
Yeah.
No, not because the son does not listen. Because there is something, there is a need.
That is fulfilled,
by that crew that is not in the house. So I'm not sure if single moms or people that are raising sons, they understand what there are these needs that boys have, that if they don't get it in the house,
they will
go outside. So let's say, okay, your case is different because your parents are there. So they have a father figure.
Yes.
He may not be a biological father, but a male figure in their lives that they imitate, that they look up to, that is being raised by a male figure.
Yeah.
So to the mothers that they are raising their sons alone, take for instance, you are living in your own flat. It's you and your son. There's no male figure around. This son needs to be taught to become a man.
Yeah.
What advice, maybe as ladies that will sit together, how do you share, what advice that you share, okay, how do you raise your son to become a man that the Lord wants him to become?
I thank God that today we are advanced, man. We are a generation that is very blessed. We have access to a lot of things that can help us deal with daily challenges, daily everything. So, one of the things that I will advise, we must use technology very wisely. Everything that we need, we can find on internet, one. Secondly, we must associate ourselves with men that can be role models to our sons, to our children. As you say, you are running a mentorship group. We must find such environments for our children. As we develop ourselves, we must also make sure that we help them to develop in a manner that will help them. I have identified men in my life that I want one day to take them and sit my boys down with them. One of them, I bought his books and I took them to the boys and say, boys, please read this book and read. And I am learning from the circle of men that I have in my life on how they have grown up, and how they are now trying to make up for the things that they think they were not done correctly or back then. And I always ask them, now, how do you do 1, 2, 3, 4? It helps me to take the advices they give me, yes, back home to the boys, especially reading books. I've gathered a number of books that I need to take to the boys and say, read these books and learn more about how to be a man, yes, and then what kind of men to look up to. I remember my firstborn when he started to grow, being a man now. He was associated with this a guy, and the guy had a family, and you know, they were not really good role models or good people to be around. And I will always tell him, don't go there. Don't be too close to them. Okay, fine. You can't cut them off in jail because they are neighbors and all that. But please cut going to such places with them, you know. And he did not understand. One day, I don't know what happened. I was not there. Apparently, he's telling me last year, and it's been 2 years now since he cut the relation. So last year, he's telling me that, you know, I was always with so and so. And I was like, hey, yeah. And I used to say, I don't like it. And I didn't understand you. But the day, in countless times, I was around them labeling what they are wearing, how much they are wearing, you know, and they will come to me like, what are you wearing? And sometimes they won't even say it, but the fact that they are mentioning they are wearing 1, 2, 3, 4,
so
you know, it made me feel like I don't belong. And I'm like, why is that? Because you taught me, whatever I wear does not have to say, it does not speak for me.
Does not define you.
Does not define me. I am who I am, and I wear everything that I want, and what I wear, I make it, you know,
to look good,
you know. And I got bored because I realized, now they are going to make me feel bad for being who I am, while they are busy running after names. They don't even know how did they come about. And I was like, thank God the seed is planted. Now we are sad. And it's like, that's why I stopped associating myself with them, and I don't regret, I'm happy.
Which means what I'm picking up is the importance of speaking to your children.
Very important.
Because most mothers, they don't speak to their children.
Punishment or whatever they give, like, they just, you know, raising kids, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have your own work stuff or personal stuff, and they need attention, and you are alone there. They need time, they need money. It's at school, there's homework. That's why you end up shutting them down, and that's where the big problem starts.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to learn also to make time for them, listen to them, just spend few minutes every day or once a week where you just connect, where you just talk, where you just talk about life, ask about challenges this week or challenges. What do you think about COVID? What do you think about Ukraine? You know,
just to understand them, how do they see the world?
Yes, yeah.
That's good. So, in terms of the family, let's say you are staying with your children, you've got a good relationship, you are speaking with your children. In terms of a financial education, how do you deal with that one? Just to expose them to they know the basic things of financial, how to save money, all those things. Have you tried it? So that if you have tried it, how are you doing it?
My mom is a businesswoman.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as I've lived, my mom has been selling, and when she sells, she gives it her all, and so there was always money at home, everywhere, like everywhere. Yes, and you know, kids now, when they grow, they buy, they always want to buy everything, you know. But what happened is that now my first phone, I saved for it.
Okay.
That's how smart my mom is. So she told us, I remember that day, it was 2006. no, 2005 January. She said, okay, I'm going to give you 50 rand every month. You and your sister, I have a sister the same age. She's my sister's, so I'm her aunt. So we were 1 year older than each other. So she's like, I'm going to give you 50 rand each month. My advice is save it. You'll see what do you buy in December. So, okay, girls were like, I would rather save this money. And happy it was an advantage because we grew up in the rurals. So, so we saved this money, I think that December I had 600. And girl, yes!
You save something now.
So, girl, what do you do with this money? No, man, everyone has a phone. I need a phone. That's how I managed to have my first phone. I saved for it, and then I bought the phone. Oh, wow, girls are on the phone now, their life is monad. So, we have been taught that when it comes to finances, you don't just ravaza money, you have to respect money. Every cent that you get, you have to be very smart on how you use it. So now I have 2 boys with 2 different characters. So the older one is a little bit matured. I don't know, but he's just that. A bit responsible. So this little one here, he spends, Baba. He spends. But now, because there's my younger brother and there's my sister's daughter, they are 4. He sees man.
These ones,
just 3, but now they manage to buy nice things, Yeah.
That means now I have to.
Yeah, but now he's failing. Like, what can I do? And he asked her, how are these people managing to like my firstborn bought his own phone. Then he saved. He had his current phone, he bought it for himself. And now he's asking her, so what can I do to be like them? And I'm like, you stop buying. You stop eating money. And I remember one day he was like, I think he was 12, 13. He's like, they call me Aussie. And he's like, Aussie Mike, I want to save like my brother, but I'm failing. I love buying. I love, I buy. And I was so happy that he discovered his weakness.
Exactly.
And he discovered, if I can adopt what these other people are doing, I'll be able to be like them. I'll save money then. When people have money to buy nice things, I'll be part of that. So financially, I think we just need to sit down with our kids and tell them the importance of money. And that you respect money. You don't just treat it anyhow, And when you take care of the money, every cent that you have, it takes care of you. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to single moms. Where do you see single mom in 10 years to come?
As I said, we currently have a social worker on board.
Okay.
I am anticipating to see us really having the resources that will be helpful to all single moms and also their kids. Right now we are focusing on the woman, the single mom, so that she'll be strong enough to take care of the kids. So in 10 years time, we would like to have our own center where we will feed after school all the kids from single raised by single moms. We want them to come there so that we are going to give them something to eat. And also winter time, there's clothes, school clothes, Christmas time, January, school clothes. We want to be a living being that will be able to function and meet the needs. Like I said, it was like we need counseling sessions, we need financial literacy. There's a lot of single moms who have dreams, but they cannot fulfill them because of finances, who would like to have sponsors who will say, anyone who wants to, there's a bursary for this kind of yes, you know, some of them go back to school and study or improve wherever they have finished studying. You know, single moms with purpose, like I said, is to empower and heal and whatnot. We want a generation that's different, a generation that is able to turn their stories into a ministry, into something that will help someone. So we want to see ourselves in 10 years' time having that sponsors, being partnering with a lot of other organizations that are making a difference.
Okay, I'm sure when you are sitting in your support group, you share different stories that, okay, how did you become a teenage mom? So do you have a plans that to take that information, go and teach the teenagers that, okay, to prevent having, because you know the teenage pregnancy is skyrocketing and is very high, and it's painful because all these children, it was painful to me to hear that, okay, a 10-year-old was pregnant. So to me, I just look, I've got a daughter that is 10 years now. So I'm just looking, Jesus Christ.
Not my story, not me.
Not my story.
Yeah.
So the awareness part, do we do awarenesses to teenagers? Do we go to school to speak about these things? Just to make an awareness. To, okay, don't do this, don't do this. So that because for instance, some of the things, there's one thing, especially where I come from, women, ladies, children, let me just say teenagers. I heard them speaking, okay, I will still have one child. I've got 3. They're being motivated by the grant. But okay, now more children, more grants. So now, what do we do in such a situation? Because they need to be educated. Okay, it's not 300 times.
It doesn't even afford crèche.
Even food for the child. So, do we do awarenesses?
As I said, we just started, and me moving from Free State to Joburg to Gauteng, it has. I had to first find my voice in here, and also get used to the environment I'm in and all that. And as we grow as the organization, I am planning on having such to say, let's prevent pregnancy before. If now we already have those who are pregnant, let's talk to them and help them, empower them not to repeat the same thing, you know. So the programs are coming. They are coming,
Okay, but I know what, since they're still coming, but the conversation that you have, do you record them so they can be at least online, so they can go online and learn when you're still preparing to have your own programs?
Yes, we are currently hosting events. We had an event in February last month, February. And yes, I did record the messages, you know, and I have Facebook where I go live for, you know, like now, you know, and everyone who will come later will be able to access. And also I have a YouTube channel, but it's not functioning at the moment. Yes, where I will post everything, every interview. Most of the interviews I've done, they are posted.
So they are. So now they've got the resources that they know.
Yes.
If still you are preparing for the programs, but they can go and learn online with the program that you have online. Okay, is there any message that you have for the whole nation now, not specifically for mothers, for our community, because all these challenges, they come from community. Let me say with our studying sometimes, each and every problem that we have nationally, it was a community problem. That community problem was a family problem. That family problem was an individual problem. So, any message for the whole society that you can just, as a single mom?
We have a lot of problems, but I believe the biggest problem is not knowing who you are.
Wow.
Well, once you don't know who you are, you can't even identify where you are, and from that you make a lot of mistakes. So to everyone, to every person, regardless of their current state of living, whatever, just seek that person, seek who you are and the purpose God has created you for in this earth, and identify what kind of a solution can you bring in the current problems that we are facing. You know, there's a lot of problems and there's a lot of us that can come out with solutions, you know. So I will say, if there's a message I'm going to give everyone, identify yourself and the kind of the solution that you carry, because we are all solution carriers, and implement them bravely, so there's someone who's waiting to receive what you have in your hands.
Okay, let me ask this question. As a single mom, what message can you send to fathers that have left their children?
Go back to your children.
Go back to your children.
Go back. Yeah, because every child, none right now, when I talk about my father, he's who knew how to provide, and for them, you know, our fathers being at home, that was love, you know. So I learned from my father that it is very important for any man to go back home. And where is home? Home it's not a house, but home is a person. Every child needs a father, their father, especially, you know. So every man who has children, they must go back to them. If it means they need to go and apologize, which is something they don't want to do or something they are not ready for, let them just go back for the sake of that child. Because regardless of how the relationship ended, this child is not involved, doesn't even have to be informed of what happened, because they are not that's it.
So to mothers who don't want men to see their children, what your message to them? Because you know what, there are brothers that when we sit down with the brothers, I want to see my child, but I'm not allowed to see my child. What they deprive the child to give the child the access to the father. So let's just start by saying that the mothers will understand when you give it advice.